Let's start with lockup. So we're going to lock up first. Boom, here we go. Boom, nice and solid. Again, I'm always going to preach this. It's always about a solid lockup. You want to make sure there's extension, heads are up so pictures can be taken. It's a very visual business, right? We want to see, it doesn't mean that you can't look like you're grinding or whatever, but you should be up, right? You shouldn't be clashing heads. From there, I'm going to brush that arm away and scoop this front face lock. Ethan's working with me. We get this front face lock. Now, I'm just going to turn Ethan a bit in this position. Now, when we get into this position of a front face lock, we go over footing. Footing was one of the ones we went over on our tutorials last time, where when we discuss where to place your feet. And it's not always when you step or when you roll. It's also when you have holds and how to get into other holds. So in this regard, we want to drop the left knee. The left knee is what we want to drop. If you drop the right one, your knee is in the way. Your left is in the way. So we're going to drop the left down because I want to get him down into a four position. The idea would be we're trying to drive all the way down to his stomach, and then as Ethan comes up to an all forward base, because he's going to fight it, and that's the idea, he's going to resist and try to get away from his belly. That's danger, and back is a pin, is a loss. Like belly's danger, back is a loss, right? So that's kind of the philosophy of wrestling, especially catch wrestling. So in this position here, in this front face lock position, once he's on all fours, what we want to do is we want to use this right foot. So I'm going to come up to my right foot as he picked up, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to sweep and hook my right foot. When I sweep and hook my right foot, what I'm going to do is I'm going to overhook my right hand over the top. My left hand is going to stay where it was around the head, and then it's going to switch to the arm. Now, I'm going to sit on my right hip. As I sit on my right hip, he's going to come over his back. His shoulder's going to lay on top of me, and all I'm going to do is pull him into a crucifix. So as I pull down, I keep my hook, and then I bring him over. And I'm going to put him on his shoulders. Now, when you do that crucifix, the idea is when you're pulling him over, you don't want to pull extremely tight. And we did a outtake once before, and I pulled him over too tight. He's a big guy, and I pulled him over, and he's on the top of his head. That's not a pin, so that doesn't count. So don't be so tight on those things that you can't. Just let the body just slide over yours. And the idea is his body is being trapped. By both his arms are being trapped, but his body essentially is being pinned by laying on top of yours. So let him lay on top of yours a little. It ain't going to hurt nothing. The second one we're going to go over, we're going to go with an arm bar on this position. All we want to do is we want to rip him into another pin. So basically we're going with combat style stuff. So as Ethan comes in, I might sidestep and bring it over the top. So as he comes in for a straight lockup, I step to the side and push that elbow over the top. Once I do, I switch that to a hook. So my left hand is going to be a hook. My right hand is on his body. As I push and pull down, I'm going to switch as I got him. So you always keep those hooks in. So as I hook over, push down on here, I'll switch. So now once I'm in this position here, what I'm going to do with Ethan to make it easy on this one is I'm going to drive down, this time dropping to my right. I want my right foot down this time. I want my left foot up so that it's anchored. See how it's blocking? His arm is being blocked by my left leg. And that's kind of where we want to go with this. As soon as he's trapped on the hip flexor, right here in this position, and I have weight here, presumable weight, there's no weight, but it looks like there's weight as I'm driving down this way. Ethan's already in a real bad spot. What I'm going to do is as I go here, I'm going to hook that opposite tricep. So I'm going to hook his right tricep, and what I'm going to do is reach over with my other hand and pull, and then pull him into a picking position, and then I'm on top. So it can go there. You can also, because that's the left side, see how I have it hooked? If he's about to kick out or if it's in a position where I can grab that left, and now we're in a different position where we can keep it. It's just a different option. It keeps it very combative, it keeps it very real, and it's one of those things that I love about wrestling is not everything has to be called. Guys can work together to make things better without saying a word, and that's the best part of wrestling. Half the time, the best calls are the ones that are never spoken, and that's the subtle beauty of pro wrestling and calling stuff. If you give a guy and he knows what he's doing and he comes into something, you can make magic out of nothing. So there you go. Your tutorial today is, we covered all bases. We did holds, we did pins, we did combat, we did calling, we did footwork. You cannot get any bigger than that. That's a big tutorial for this one. Check this one out. Check out a whole lot more. We got over hundreds of these, and we're going to still pump these out. We want to pump these out as much as possible because we want to bring professional wrestling back to professional wrestling ways. And we want people to be lost in the magic and be deceived by what pro wrestling used to be and all the stuff that makes it great. Catching, hooking, stretching, holds, all that stuff. That's what we want to do. All right, check them all out.